Live from Studio 31, it's the Core Hydration Training Camp stream. We are live with you at City National Arena. Welcome in, Darren Millard along with Ashley Weiss. We will be with you for the next hour, maybe a little bit more. Thanks to Shane Knighty, Dave Gosher, and everybody that's brought you the stream for the first couple of days of the Vegas Golden Knights training camp. And we are able to wrap things up on the third straight day of these 3 workouts per day.
Yes, the other broadcasters have set the bar high, so we have our work cut out for us. But if there's anyone who could be creative, it's Darren Millard. We'll have some fun here today. And like you said, the last day of the 3 skates per day. And based on what we've seen so far, more 5-on-5 situations than we've seen the last couple days. So we'll give us a good feel of what's coming up with the preseason game tomorrow.
First group is already on the ice. This group features the likes of William Karlsson, Mark Stone, and Riley Smith. That's a new look line. We know Karlsson and Smith have been together for years, but as a threesome, that's the first time that we've seen them. Other players out there, Brett Howden, Jonas Romberg, Matteo Norbert, a draft pick from this last summer's draft. Caden Korzak is out there. The goaltenders, Lindbaum and Vickman.
So want to go back to the first line that you talked about, William Karlsson between Riley Smith and Mark Stone. We know that that's going to be a really strong line defensively, no matter what, just from the veteran presence from, we know what William Karlsson can do in his hockey IQ. We know Mark Stone in his hockey IQ, but how does Stone make that line different than what we've seen with Karlsson and Smith in the past?
Well, in the past we had Jonathan Marchessault with Smith and Karlsson, so a proven scorer. Maybe more of a two.
I think we're having some technical difficulties. I'm not completely sure. I think that my mic is still on. I think your mic was not on. So we're working. Oh, he's back.
I'm back?
He's back. Do you want to repeat that, or do you want me to paraphrase for you?
Go ahead.
He was just talking about how Smith and Karlsson say a lot of the same things about each other. The good news is that Darren's back. You were talking about how Smith and Karlsson say the same kind of things about each other, or were you saying Karlsson and Stone say the same things about each other in terms of their hockey IQ? And
if Stone's talking about Karlsson's saying the same things about Stone. Like it's the mirror imaging, and that's a great compliment, because Karlsson can score. I think at times chooses not to, because he's just so content to be such a reliable player. And Mark Stone, we know what he can do defensively with the anticipation, with the hand-eye coordination, and is coming off a career year himself.
I have a question. Will that line be faster than they will get credit for?
Yes.
We talked to a bunch of guys before the season started, our media day sit-downs, and we were asking guys who's underrated in these different categories, and speed was one of them. And Karlsson and Stone both came up in terms of guys who are underrated in the speed
Mark
department.
Stone is always going to be hauling around that label, tugging that idea that he can't get to places on time. And neutral ice, he's not going to be fast enough. But I'll go back to something that Bruce Cassidy has said in the past. Do you ever see him get beat to a puck? Do you ever see him lose a foot race to a loose puck where he has an opportunity on an odd man rush or a breakaway? Doesn't. It started when he was a 6th-round pick out of Brandon as a junior, and he's always had it. But he's faster than anybody will give him credit for.
I don't think it bothers him, though, because he actually named himself when I said who has the most underrated speed.
Well, he's heard it
Big
forever.
Smile, and he said me without hesitation.
So Karlsson, we know, can get up and down the ice. And Riley Smith, 200-foot player, has chemistry with William Karlsson. But what I think is going to be Riley's biggest attribute, positive this year, is he's so happy. He's so content. He is just home is the best way that I can describe Riley Smith's place in the universe right now. He is home in Las Vegas and playing with the Vegas Golden Knights.
Yeah, the demeanor that he had when the trade happened last season has not changed. It hasn't changed. The excitement hasn't worn off. He and his family
all summer.
Yeah, stayed here all summer. Swimming with his girls in the pool, just doing the Vegas local life. Had no desire to leave the town. It's definitely, like you said, it's home. And of course we know that home for him is also on the wing of William Karlsson. So works for him both on and off the ice.
Talking about swimming and with your children, the way things work this week, there's 3 groups. You go at 9, you go 11, and 2 o'clock. And this group was the last group the other day on Thursday. So William Karlsson said, I got to do swimming lessons this morning. Normally I'd be at the rink and I'd be doing things, but because we went on the ice last, we got to do swimming lessons, and it was great, and then come to the rink and take part in training camps. So it's still fitting in a little bit of life, even though camp's on the ice. Yeah,
I'm sure guys are glad that this is the last day of the 2 o'clock skates. At least I think. I have to look at our schedule, but I know it goes down to 2 groups after the preseason game tomorrow. But yeah, going to breakfast, taking walks. Guys are normally getting here in the season by 8:30, 9 o'clock. So the afternoons are definitely a little bit different. But
there's Raphael Lavoie and Riley Smith working together, and just there's jump in Riley Smith right now. William Karlsson has looked fantastic during the summer, during the captain skates, and Mark Stone, we had the conversation with him a year ago where he looked thinner. And he said, no, my weight's the same. Exactly. Maybe it's distributed a little bit more, but those 3 players are all in fantastic shape for 3 veteran guys.
I wanted to bring up conversation about being in shape too, because not to jump subjects or jump lines on you, but I want to talk about what's likely going to start as the 4th line for the Vegas Golden Knights of Brett Howden, Colton Sissons, and Keegan Colasar. Last camp, Bruce Cassidy praised Brett Howden and Keegan Colasar for being 2 of the most well-conditioned players coming into camp, and that resulted in career years for both of them. I guess my question to you is, how do they follow that up? That's probably not an easy standard. They now set that bar for themselves quite high. But then also, if you want to go back to talking about the veteran guys, it's not easy to come in as the most well-conditioned guys when you're the veteran guys like William Karlsson, Mark Stone, or Riley Smith either.
Well, it's an easy one, I think, to just pour everything into it this summer, because everybody knew this was going to be the last year for fitness testing. So you ended on a high with establishing those numbers, because with the new CBA kicking in next year, fitness testing will go by the wayside. So Brett Howden and Keegan Colasar also trained together all summer in Winnipeg, and they were able to push each other. They had these incredible years last year and train and fuel each other to be able to come back and be able to take it up another notch. And that's going to be difficult for both guys, because Keegan and Brett both got off to fantastic starts last year and rode that through, and basically had these wonderful rides the entire season. And being able to follow that up is going to be challenging. But playing on the same line, or hopefully the way things are right now, playing on the same line is a bit of an advantage to fuel off each other.
Impressive thing about Keegan Colasar as well. He said that he cut body fat coming into this season, because again, he wants to live up to that expectation that he set of himself coming into last camp so well conditioned, and the praise that got from Bruce Cassidy. But we learned, thanks to a column that Gary Lawless wrote over the summer, that Keegan Colasar spent a lot of time in the kitchen this summer, bread making, learned how to make focaccia, was bringing that to the rink. But how impressive that you can have focaccia around your kitchen all the time and still somehow cut body fat, because that is the opposite of how things would work in my household, I can assure you.
You got to be giving a lot away.
He said he gives away like a third of it or something like that, and keeps
you can't keep
the rest.
That around the house, because it's just going to end up adding to your numbers.
Easier said than done, though. I would be downing it before I even have a chance to get it out of the house.
I think the guys are excited, too, about the change in the fitness testing process, because for hockey players, a lot of the fitness testing, the players will say, hey, we train for the fitness testing, when we would like to be training more for hockey stuff. And this is league-wide, not necessarily Vegas Golden Knights. And now they can just strictly focus on hockey training and being in shape for everything that they do on the ice, and not a bike test, and not pull-ups or anything like that. So I think it's progress in our game to be able to do that. And don't think that coaches across the 32 teams aren't going to be keeping an extra eye on guys next year. There'll be more of a focus. Hey, is a guy winded after a practice, or is a guy injured after the first couple of skates? They'll be able to monitor that without the aid of the bike test or the VO2.
What do you hear about the VO2 and the bike test? For fans who don't know what that all entails, I feel like we don't dive into that often, but it's not something that is enjoyable.
No, it's like a 3-minute test, and guys will practice it and train for it during the course of the summer, and then come out to captain skates, and you'll see them and they're like, I did the bike test this morning and my legs are dead. William Karlsson, who's skating through your frame right now, he's one guy that leans into it. Like, he loves it.
In fact,
as much as you can love it, he just owns it. He might be the one guy that's like, we're getting rid of it? Well, I don't mind that at all.
In fact, if you want to throw back, you can still, I believe it's still on the Golden Knights YouTube channel. You can go back and watch VGK Origins from, 4 or 5 years ago, maybe longer than that.
Between seasons 1 and 2.
It was between seasons 1 and 2. Okay, I didn't know exactly when it was shot, but the sheriff Shane Knighty is in Sweden and does the bike test with Karlsson, and that'll give you an idea of how difficult it is.
It's funny, Karlsson and Smith were line mates then.
Still line mates now. The more
into
things change, the more they stay the same, as
going
they
into
say.
season 9. So here we have Dom Ducharme working with the players, a little ozone puck retrieval, and then they'll slide out. So the way Bruce Cassidy has set up this training camp, it's D zone on day 1, neutral zone on day 2, and then more ozone in day 3. But what we've seen during the course of this is it all kind of melds together. Ozone work actually challenges D-zone coverage because you got to have somebody defending you. And today is a lot of up ice, so that will work through the neutral zone checking and being conscious of where the offensive players are, and then into line rushes. So they're using the 200 feet of the ice a lot more today.
Yeah, I'll have to get ready for that first preseason game. It's all preseason games from this point forward. Now they've covered every part of the ice, but aside from truly just focusing on the different zones, how do you think the priorities have changed already, even just in these first three days, in terms of details, things like that? How does what the coaching staff is looking for changing as these days go on? Not necessarily what they're working on, but what they're looking for.
I think nothing changes as far as what they're looking for. They're just dialed into different parts of the ice. Their own zone, the middle of the ice, and then the attacking zone. That's the focus on the 3 different days. They will certainly keep an eye on who's playing well. Matteo Nobert is out with this group, draft pick from this past summer's draft in Los Angeles.
Give everyone the fun fact.
Matteo Nobert knows the flag of every country. That's his thing. And it's fascinating that he would know that. But he scored a couple of goals in Denver. So he will be somebody that hockey ops and management is keeping an eye on, just on execution, details. But Bruce Cassidy has really done an amazing job of getting off to good starts. His first 3 years with the Vegas Golden Knights. And it's all because of, I think, the foundation that these first 3 days instill on the team. And it's been like this from year number 1, a lot more detail work because people weren't used to his system. But last year followed a similar path, and then the pace this year, replicating what we saw the first 3 years under Bruce Cassidy. Dial in the details with pace and be conscious of taking care of every one of your responsibilities. So when you start playing games tomorrow, you've got that foundation to build off of.
Yeah, like you said, it's certainly carried over each of his seasons as the Golden Knights head coach to start seasons. And there have been a couple of seasons that he's been here that it's proven to be very important, because whether the injury bug has hit the team or the team has just hit a slump, and January tends to unfortunately be where that has been, being off to those strong starts has made a really, really big difference. And when you have so many of the same players returning, it's easy for them to buy in to approaching training camp the right way, because they understand how big of a difference it makes when the season starts. They understand that their approach to start a season and Bruce Cassidy's approach to a season is something that, gives them early success.
Check out the BGK social media channels and check in with us. Love to know where you're watching from today, and get some questions sent your way to Ashley and I. And let us know where you're checking out the stream, how far the realm spans, so whether it's across the United States, across North America, going to Europe or beyond. Kim watching on Facebook in the Philippines. So hello, Kim. Jennifer is on Facebook from Illinois.
I wonder what time it is in the Philippines.
I wouldn't know.
Quick Google search.
Renee is watching on Facebook in Calgary, and Brady is on Facebook in Pennsylvania. So solid stuff. Oh, Terry is also on YouTube. Not sure where Terry is watching, but it's the training camp stream presented by Core Hydration. Vegas Golden Knights, third straight day of 3 groups going. The coaches, the NHL coaches have run every single one of these group sessions.
And their feet are feeling it, Darren.
I can't imagine. Now, tomorrow it's an early game in San Jose, 5 o'clock. So there's no morning skate before the team travels to San Jose, and that's the best thing for Joel Ward and Dom Ducharme and the likes, Sean Burke and Bruce Cassidy out there, John Stevens and Sean Farrell. Just get a break for their feet as they get ready for the first game in San Jose. Don't have a roster yet for that game in San Jose, and that's exclusively streamed on Nighttime Plush. Mention that tomorrow, as we will join Script Sports on Tuesday. Jamie is watching on Facebook in Phoenix. Thank you, Jamie.
It is 1:16 a.m. in the Philippines, by the way, so we appreciate everyone around the realm who's tuning in. But Kim in the Philippines, that is some dedication. We appreciate you.
Send us your questions. Nina in Red Rock Canyon. Michael is watching by Lake Las Vegas. And Norris is taking in the stream on Facebook in Latvia, in Riga, Latvia. Ever been there? Oh, it's beautiful.
I've not.
Shane Knighty spent some time there from his time covering the World Championship. And Riga, Latvia is just absolutely beautiful. Allison watching on YouTube in Lubbock, Texas. Reckham Tech.
Big game for Texas Tech today.
Mm-hmm. Gordon Weigers, who's running the stream, is basically holding our hand through this process. Had a couple of games on, and it was just walking me through all that. Michigan is playing later on today. Jackson Hallam, a product of U of M, he'll be on the ice next, and he's just turned pro after 3 years with the Wolverines, so he'll have one eye on the game, the football game as well. There's Mark Stone getting up the ice. Again, it doesn't always look beautiful, but he gets there, and he's got a way to put the puck home. And there's a play earlier this summer, and he took a shot and scored short side, and he said, I thought the goaltender would have went down on that. And he knows everything about how he sees the game in such a different way. It's fascinating to be around, spend any time around Mark Stone.
Something that we're lucky to see on a daily basis.
Yes.
Others, I think that's why he's underrated in a lot of categories. He's been honest about the fact, too, how badly he wants to be part of this Olympic roster coming up. What do you think has to happen this season? Of course, his sights are, his biggest focus is being the captain of the Vegas Golden Knights and making sure that the team has success up to that point. But what needs to happen these first 3-4 months of the season, 3 months of the season?
You got to produce, you got to play well, and part of that, love that rush with that line. I'm really excited about this line of 1971 and 61.
It's crazy. So
Smith.
We're considering this the third line, not the second line. Do we have 2 second lines, or do we have 2 third lines? How do you view the situation?
Yeah, I would say you have 2 second lines. That's what
it's almost impossible to call this a third
Marner,
line.
Eichel, and Barbashev, that's your number 1 unit.
Right.
And it's funny, Stone and Eichel had so much chemistry last year. They weren't supposed to play together last year and got paired up because of a preseason injury to William Karlsson, and they just hit it off. And why would you switch from that? But Mark Stone is replaced on that line because you bring in a 100-point guy in Mitch Marner. But I would call it 2 second lines, with the centers being Karlsson or Hurdle, and you've got Brandon Saad and Pavel Dorofeev surrounding Tomas Hurdle. It's difficult to call that a third line. Or if you're going to say one of these lines is a third line, that's a hell of a compliment to your team.
Truly not a line that you can circle if things stay the same, that any team would be happy to go out there against.
Fun to watch, and then the power play is going to be intriguing to dive into. There was a little bit of discussion about that yesterday on day 2 of camp with Bruce Cassidy, because all 5 players from last year's power play are back from the number 1 unit, and that was the best numbers the Vegas Golden Knights have ever produced on the man advantage. Now you add a 100-point guy in Mitch Marner. Now, where does he go in? A lot of it will depend on right shot, left shot,
right.
Who he replaces. You do have the option, if you want, because Mitch Marner has played the position on the power play before, of going with 5 forwards and putting him on the point. Now, Noah Hannafin and Shea Theodore do a pretty good job. They flip back and forth on the point. So I think you'll see that at some point, the 5 forward set from the Vegas Golden Knights. But out of the gate, I think you'll go with the traditional 4 forwards, 1 defenseman. It'll just be interesting to see where Marner lines up and then who subsequently comes off.
And I guess the hope is that the first unit would score so much that you wouldn't see the second unit much. But when the first unit doesn't score, curious, do you think we'll see the second unit of the Golden Knights power play, regardless of how it shakes out, more than we did last season, just because of all of these options personnel-wise? Is it going to be 2 really strong units?
You're moving a top power play guy to your second unit.
Yeah. Whether it's Theodore, whether it's Dorofeev,
whether it's Stone, whether it's Hurdle. I'm just going to mention everybody but Jack. All right. So we don't single out anybody. Jack's not moving to the second unit, but I think there is that possibility where you have more balance, even though you're adding a superstar point producer onto your number 1 unit. I think you do have the luxury of balancing out your unit a little bit, but it does the right shot, left shot dynamic does play a role here. Now, Dorofeev, 13 power play goals last year, and Hurdle, 14.
Most of his career.
So they were really impactful on making that unit goal. Dorofeev's a left shot, Marner's a right shot. So I don't see Marner replacing Dorofeev over on that right side. So that also sort of impacts what changes that Dom Ducharme, who runs the power play, will handle.
Special teams as well. Do we see more Shea Theodore on the penalty kill?
If he's not playing on the power play, probably. And do you see what happens with the penalty kill? Because Marner can kill penalties too. That's the part with Mitch Marner. Even he's not skating right now with this group, but is on that ice on that line with Eichel and Barbashev. Jack kills a lot of penalties and plays in the power play. Stone kills penalties and is on the power play, but Marner can kill penalties and play on the power play. So you add another layer to both sides of your special teams. You also have the option of playing a guy just on the power play or on the penalty kill a little bit more.
Options.
A lot of
Lots of options for Bruce Cassidy. It's a good problem to have.
Let's just take you outside of the rink and let you listen to the sounds of training camp. If you're not able to be here at City National Arena, let you get the feel of what it's like to sit in the stands and watch a training camp practice. Hope you're enjoying the Golden Knights training camp stream presented by Core Hydration. Working our way through the first group of the day on the ice, first of 3 groups here at City National Arena. Now into some shootout practice as the players go for their respective teams.
Yeah, it's actually an area that the Golden Knights want to be better at. I was asking, again, back to that underrated conversation, I was asking about underrated shootout moves, and it was Mark Stone who said, I think we need to get better at the shootout in general. I don't think that has anything to do with why they're practicing it now, but the way this practice has gone, this is a heck of a way to end it.
They don't go to the shootout a lot.
No,
compared to some teams. William Karlsson scored earlier. I just love how much he enjoys scoring, even in practice. He's a veteran player. He's done this 1,000 times. He scores in practice. He skates by the bench, talking to the equipment guys, giving a little pump.
Speaking of King, we missed Keegan Colasar already.
He went first up off the practice. You had a good chat with Keegan about presence in the locker room and voicing personality.
We did a little bit.
And he does have one of the great personalities off ice, on ice, and doesn't mind being heard.
Exactly. It does seem like he's coming into this camp a little bit on one in the best way possible. He's seems like firing chirps at any and everyone all the time. The reason it came up yesterday is Colton Sissons said that one of the first things he's noticed, he told someone that one of the first things he's noticed is just the banter among the room and how much fun everyone has with each other. And so I asked Keegan, and now I will ask you as well, what is the appropriate time that you bring new players, I guess? When are new players fair game?
I think new players...
You don't want to pick on them too early, right?
No, but I think they're fair game right away.
Okay.
Because as soon as somebody starts being chirped, they feel welcome.
Yes.
Like that's sort of the unofficial sign that you've been accepted by the group. Now, there's always a line there or a tone that can certainly separate the friendly chirps and you're part of the group. And obviously, we know when you go beyond that it takes on a different tone. But with this group, it's always friendly and I think right away. Now, the question is, when do the new guys feel comfortable chirping yes. the established players? That's a little different because I think you got to be chirped first before you start beaking the other guys.
It opens the door. However, so I don't know if Colton Sissons is chirping other guys yet. Unsure about that, but I do know that he
doesn't feel like a chirpy guy.
He doesn't, but I heard that he was comfortable chirping one of the fill-in goaltenders during captain's skates over the summer.
Well,
that might be sitting next to me right now.
That was a little different because if I'm out there, I'm talking all the time, and it was relayed to me this way. I could score on the guy 6 straight times. If he stops me once, he's given it to me, which is true the way I do it. So Colton and I don't know each other, or didn't know each other then, and I just treated him like everybody else. But he did score coming by, and he went by the bench and said to one of the equipment guys something about old man.
Called you old.
Yeah, old man. And he's not wrong there. He's not wrong there. And I had to. We broke bread on that later on this earlier this week, and he's a great face-off guy, by the way. Good centerman. Can score, can be mid-teens in goals, a little underrated in the goal-scoring department. I think there's another level there that he can go to or get back to. But when it comes to like winning that key draw, the Golden Knights have added to their reserve and real advantage in that department with the addition of Colton Sissons.
And Bruce Cassidy doesn't shy away from it. Some people like to say that our face-offs that important that we talk about them too much. Bruce Cassidy doesn't shy away from the importance of starting with the puck, especially in certain game situations. We're talking about old. I'm not calling you old. We're just talking about the fact that Colton referenced your age. Colton is not old, but he is a veteran player, which brings me to this. I was talking to Bruce Cassidy about how he envisions Sissons' role on this team, and he said he finds that in that position on the fourth line, a lot of people think that that's a position for younger players, but Bruce Cassidy believes that guys who have been around and done that role was actually better for guys who have been around and done it, because there's so many things you don't think about that are so important for that line.
Well, it's a safety net for the coaches too. Like you don't want to be, you want to be able to play your fourth line and not worry about anything. And I think that leads into the comment by Bruce Cassidy that it's for older players. You got to have trust in who you're putting out there in that fourth line, whether it's energy, whether it's physical, whether it's defending. Fourth lines around the National Hockey League have different identities, but you want to be reliable. You don't want to be put it out there, your fourth line, and say, hold on, just hold on and get through this shift. You want to be able to be comfortable in that. And Sissons, Howden, and Kolasar right now fit that bill to be, one, reliable. You don't have to worry about them being outplayed. And they do have the ability, with two of the three guys coming off career years, and then Sissons, who wearing number 10,
ironically,
Nick Waugh, who played that role last year. I think it's a real good, solid, comfortable place for Bruce Cassidy to be with that fourth line.
And the fourth line has been reliable for this team for quite some time. How is it different? How do you view the identity of the line being different than maybe what we've seen in the past?
Well, I think physically, early on, that was the title, how they would have in the marquee. With Ryan Reaves or Will Carrier, that kind of player. Then it morphed into more of a offensive unit. Not go out and score, but could score. Not as physical, not wearing you down, not as much reliant on the forecheck. I think the last couple of years it's been a little bit of a hybrid, and this is the same way. You take Will Carrier off that, it's not going to be as in your face, pinning the other team's defense on the forecheck. But I think Brett Howden has bite to his game, and Keegan Kolasar can get up and down the ice and can play physical, and Colton Sissons can do both. So you have three players who are all can all score in the teens offensively, but are all very responsible defensively with some grit and some, I love the word bite, in their game. And I think that's a really underestimated part of Brett Howden's game. We're used to being around him, and he's one of the...
It does not match what you get off the ice.
He's one of the nicest human beings. You and I and India Shea and Garrick Holloway in the PR communications department, we've got this running list, top five nicest people. And you'll walk by one of us and go, "Who's any change in your top five?" Brett Howden's always in your top five.
No doubt.
Nicest people. But on the ice, there's a switch where he becomes like a gritty hockey player, and I don't think we take that into account enough. And he's also a guy that can play up your lineup, or on that fourth line. So I think you'll see more emphasis on his forecheck game this year in the early going, but can also, if they get chances, he's got the confidence. Keegan Kolasar, I thought that was great last year that he got the confidence of bearing those chances, and see what kind of chemistry they find with that guy in Colton Sissons.
You also had Colton Sissons on your radio show, the VGK Insider Show, 2 days ago?
Yes.
I'm losing track of days here, Darren.
Yes.
What'd you learn about him as a person? The personality.
He found out he was traded when he was on vacation in the south of France.
Brutal. What a place to be.
Wakes up to text that he's been traded. So from former teammates and then the new team in the Vegas Golden Knights. So that's a bit of a curveball to you.
But if there's any place that you're getting life-changing news, I mean, you look out the window and you're in the south of France. Would be tough though. Would be tough.
So that was interesting. This is a strange thing for him, changing organizations
for the first time.
That's Mitch Marner's going through it. That's an adjustment for guys. The first time that they have to pick up and leave an organization that they've come up through and are very comfortable with, from the practice facility to the game nights to the people around the rink, the people around town, your favorite restaurants, etc. So let's see the adjustment, how long it takes Colton Sissons. Now he was in town early, taking part in the practice skates, and so he got a little bit of a jump on that. But and he's a the face-off thing, that he became a good face-off guy as a way to get more ice time, and it's a big part of his game. But it's not something that he said, I'm going to become the best face-off guy in the world. He just puts in the work that is required about it, but it's not something that he set out to do. It's more of a gift type of thing.
He also considers himself a Swiss Army knife.
Mm-hmm.
He has said, I think that this is obviously a really good position for him to start in, but should anything change, should injuries arise, should things happen, do you see him as someone who could play a different role with this team as well?
Absolutely. And when you talk about center ice depth of the Vegas Golden Knights, they acquire Mitch Marner. You have to give up something to pick up a superstar. Nick Waugh went the other way, a player that was very comfortable playing fourth-line center. In fact, at times I wondered, would Nick Waugh rather play fourth-line center than first-line wing? Because he was just so perfectly at home down the middle and playing that role. But he could move up, and Colton Sissons is very similar in the range in his game. Intelligent hockey player is the way I would, if you had challenged me to describe him in one sentence. Intelligent. Versatile is also a good attribute, but the intelligent. And this drill that he's working on right now, young players want all the sizzle. That's a veteran post-practice example of a guy that does a great job of doing all the little things of staying in the league. He's working on puck retrieval, behind the net, off the wall, and setting up a chance in front. And it's bad ice. The puck's just being randomly thrown in, working on backhand, forehand. Veteran play right there in Colton Sissons.
And you had a chance to have Braden Bowman and Joe Fleming on your radio show yesterday.
The Bo and Joe show.
The Bo and Joe show,
Yeah.
two of the younger guys in camp, of course. And you guys had a conversation about the importance of being a young player and seeing the things that veteran players do on a daily basis and the things that veteran players work on a daily basis. So don't underestimate how much him staying there, doing that kind of drill, working with the younger players, don't underestimate the impact that has on those younger players and their development.
Well, would you like to be just working on one-timers from the slot? Yeah. Or something offensive from a scoring standpoint? Yeah. But instead, Colton Sissons was doing wall work, putting the puck in front and creating opportunities. Now, who takes over when he leaves the ice? Let's see, a Sapovalov, who, center iceman, part of the Golden Knights system, had a great year in Henderson, was thrown in the deep end last year, but he watches Colton Sissons do that drill, and then he follows up and does a similar thing. So that's veteran leadership, and Colton may not even know that that's happening, but that's mentorship for Sapovalov, working with the likes of skills coach Sean Farrell out there, and Raphael Lavoie as well.
What stood out for you about Matthias Sapovalov at the rookie tournament?
There's no flash in his game. He just does everything really, really well. So Jackson Hallam, 3 years at Michigan, turned pro this year. He has speed to burn. Like the comment on Jackson Hallam is so fast, can win races with the puck, creates opportunities at the rush, and just turns on the afterburners. Sapovalov, great hands, can shoot, vision, has worked on his face-offs, good puck distributor, but there's not that one thing that jumps out. He's just really good at everything. So part of me thinks that he doesn't get the credit that he should get or the attention that he should get, but he doesn't do that one thing that blows you away. He had a chance and scored a goal in Denver at the rookie tournament. He got the puck in between the hash marks and slid to the left side onto his forehand and looked 3 times to pass the puck on the back door. And it wasn't there at all. So he said, finally, I shot. And he scored. And it was a great goal. But his first option was pass, distribute the puck, fit his line mates in. I think Sapovalov has a real good chance to play in the National Hockey League.
Are there any Golden Knights, current or former, that you would compare his game to for fans who haven't either didn't catch him with Henderson last year or didn't catch the rookie tournament?
Yeah, not the same skill set as William Karlsson, but similar games in the sense of do everything really well. And I made the joke earlier that at times I think William chooses not to score or tries not to score because he's so talented that he should score 35 goals, but just does everything.
And we know that.
Yeah, leans into everything else and does it so well. Sapovalov, I think there is skill there. There's goal scoring ability. I think you'd like to improve that as he goes along, but he just does everything else so well that he's become a real important part for Ryan Craig on the Henderson Silver Knights. Really dependable player for a guy that's just going into his second pro season. And he was Vabanets, Demek, Sapovalov, Uchaz last year, Bowman, those 5 players, first-year pros across the board, and they were needed. They didn't. The plan wasn't to play them or lean on them as much last year, but they did, and it was a rocky first half. But once they got their feet underneath them, they were huge for that Silver Knights team in that second half push, in which they were one of the better teams in the American Hockey League.
Something Bruce Cassidy talks about during camp too. We tend to get focused on who's going to make the opening night roster, But Bruce's message to younger players is who is going to be the first call up if something happens. Maybe not even younger players necessarily, but players who are expected to start in Henderson. Is there anyone you feel this is a really, really big camp for from that standpoint?
I think Braden Bowman. It's an important camp.
And a great story.
Self-made. Came to the Vegas Golden Knights as a free agent. Earned an American Hockey League contract. Then by his play last year, signed an entry-level contract in the National Hockey League, on the National Hockey League level, and is on his ELC. And he created all of that as a player that went through the draft and was overlooked. So I think there's a chance, a real opportunity for Braden Bowman to play his first National Hockey League game this year. Very, very similar to Mark Stone in his games. And we're looking for a comparison for Sapovalov, big player, a little different styles than William Karlsson, but the same dependable. Braden Bowman, you watch him and you immediately see Mark Stone. Like they are two peas in the pod. And when we had Joe and Bo on yesterday on the VGK Insider Show, I asked Joe Fleming to describe Braden Bowman's game, and he went down the list and like, that sounds like somebody already in the organization. And he went, yeah, and mentioned Mark Stone right away.
And I listened to that interview. It's on the radio, so of course you can't see anything, but I swear I could see Braden Bowman blushing.
Yes.
Without even seeing his face. Was that happening in real time?
Oh, yeah.
Because it seemed like the last thing he wanted to do was admit that he gets compared to Mark Stone. But it's an important thing and something that obviously fans should be very excited about.
And those two are great friends. Drive to the rink, they were roommates last year, Braden Bowman and Joe Fleming, and the personality really shone through last year. Andy on YouTube wants to know what Colton Sisson's nickname will be. It's if it's Coley, does that get confusing with Coley for Keegan Colasar? Sizz might be one.
I don't know his nickname.
I don't know.
I feel like I'm dropping the ball.
I know what his nickname for me is, but
old man.
I don't know what the nickname going back is. Vondra is watching on Facebook in Charlottetown, Prince Edward Island. Head up the coast over to Shelton Beach. Enjoy that side of the world, Vondra. Maybe you can, Vonda, maybe you can check on the cottage too. Yoda on X from Honolulu. And Lincoln says aloha from Hawaii on YouTube. Justin on YouTube watching in Long Island. Where in Long Island? Love to know, because Gordon Weigers is from that neck of the woods. Lisa is on Facebook in Glace Bay, Nova Scotia. Tony from Anchorage, Alaska on Facebook. Rob, Salt Lake City. And Felix taking in the stream on YouTube in North Carolina. George from Nunavut, and Louise, Boulder City, and Sonia in Montreal. So thank you for taking part. The great question, though, on Colton Sissons. We're going to have, hopefully, Brett Howden stop by.
Yes, I think it's going to be very soon here.
So if when Brett joins, we will ask him what Colton Sissons' nickname is, and see exactly what that nickname. So Cameron Whitey, and we have Zach Whitecloud, Whitey. So we got to work on Cameron's nickname as well.
True.
So there's a couple of overlapping situations on there as the guys are wrapping up. This is one of my favorite things, the post practice, just hang out, watching guys. Mateo Nobear out there. Nobear, a draft pick from this summer, scored a couple of goals in Denver. Really intelligent player, face-off guy, and went forward with it. Like iced the puck a couple of times late in games on a 6-on-5. Just went forward with it, which was cool hockey sense. As we bring you back into Studio 31 from the rink over here at City National Arena, welcome in Brett Howden joining us live on the stream. How are things going?
Things are going good. Yeah, it's nice to finally kind of get going here. I feel like the last couple of weeks before camp, it just feels like it's dragging on. You just kind of want to get it going, but it's nice to get the first couple of days going here, and then it'll be nice to get some games under our belt too.
It's funny, as the practice, captain's practices go along, you guys start scrimmaging a lot more towards the end. I don't know whether that's Sean Farrell's finished with you guys and running drills, or whether you're finished with him, but you guys start scrimmaging a lot more, and the pace picks up. And then you get out here for training camp, and it's like warp speed, or that's what it feels like.
Yeah, it definitely picks up quite a bit. I feel like towards the end of the captain skates, we're kind of trying to get it dialed in and get ready to go, because we know that skates are going to be amped up for sure when camp starts. But I feel like we did a good job of being prepared. I feel like the first day, obviously the first day is usually the toughest day, just trying to, everybody's catching their wind a little bit, but I felt like we all felt pretty good. And then these next 2 days, I felt like the execution was getting better and better, and ultimately the skates just got better as the days went on. So just nice to, like I said, it's just nice to get things going underway here.
You talk about preparation for camp. Last year, Bruce Cassidy had really high praise for you and Keegan Colasar. He said you two came in as two of the most well-conditioned players in camp. Obviously, you guys trained together in the summer in Winnipeg, but how do you feel compared to when you came into camp last year, and what'd you do over the summer to try to live up to that expectation now that you've said it?
Yeah. Honestly, we did the same thing. Me and Coley.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Yeah. We, our trainer, we've been with the same trainer for a while back home in Winnipeg, and we trust him and what he does. And we have the easy part. He's the mastermind behind what we do in the summer, and he just kind of tells us what to do, and we do it. But I think it's so great for us, both me and Keegan, just being able to push each other in the summer, on the ice and off the ice, being with each other every day. We both feel like we came back in great shape again. I think it kind of shows in the skates too, that as the skates go on, we feel like obviously we're tired, but we feel like we're pushing each other and doing well, conditioning wise. So and I think that's good, especially before games, because once the games hit, it keeps ramping up a bit more. So I think these skates are good to kind of get us prepped for that. And we both feel good, heading into the preseason games.
As one of the guys on the higher end of the testing, what was your feeling about saying goodbye to fitness testing for the last time? As part of the CBA, you won't have to go through that next year.
Yeah, we're not going to miss the bike test, that's for sure. That is one that you think about all summer. you're just waiting to get that day over. It's definitely one of the hardest tests I think I've done for sure. But yeah, I think it's just what it is. It's part of the CBA now, I guess. I don't really know.
Will you train any different?
No, that's the thing. You're not going to change anything. You'll be able to notice if you're out of shape, coming back in the skates. It'll be pretty easy to tell. So definitely not going to change anything. We, like I said, we enjoy what we're doing in the summer. Coming in, we feel like we're prepared for the season. So just the one thing is, I think we're glad to get that bike test out of there.
On an opposite note, have you tried Keegan's focaccia? Because we've heard a lot about this bread.
Yeah, I did actually.
Give it a rating.
Well, my wife was on the internet, and she was seeing that he made focaccia, and that Sauter tried it, and I came in the next day. I'm like, what? Where is this? Like, why didn't I get to try it? So he made another one, and I tried it, and I thought it was unreal. I couldn't believe it when I got home and I tried it. I couldn't believe he made it. He's got a lot of time on his hands, I guess.
Well, you're not a dad of two yet.
Yeah.
You know?
So, but he said he's trying a new recipe, and he said he doesn't know if he liked how that one turned out, so he's gonna try another one. But yeah, I mean, it's pretty impressive that he's doing that.
Can you beak him for being a bread maker?
When it's that good, no, I
No?
don't think you can. I don't think you can. No.
23 goals last year. How do you come back and approach this season from an expectation standpoint?
Yeah, I mean, I think last year, as my confidence grew a lot more throughout the year, my consistency was better. I think that's just what I want to come back in with the start of this year is just not overthinking things. I think just sticking to my
Is that
game.
hard to do? Not overthink?
Well, for some people maybe it is easier. I'm an overthinker day-to-day stuff, but when it comes to the, hockey mentality and your mindset, I feel like you do a lot of work on that, over the years, and comes with experience too. But I think for me, I mean, I don't try to change anything. I try to, play the same style of hockey every night, play an honest two-way game. And I think last year, as my confidence began to grow, I think another thing that helped was, being able to, sign throughout the year and kind of get that out of the way. That was, I think, a big thing for me and my family. So, I think just coming in this year, I have, another level of confidence coming back, and I think this is my 8th season, I believe, professionally. So, just want to keep going with that confidence, and just trying to stick to my game.
What stands out to you about Colton Sissons after the first few days?
Yeah, it's been great. It's been great to see him, to get to play with him. Plays a similar style to me and Coley, which I feel like it's pretty easy to read off of. It's been a lot of fun these last 3 days, just finally getting to build a little bit of chemistry together. He's a great ad for us. Adds a lot of depth to our team, and super excited to kind of get things going underway here, get some games going.
We had a fan ask what his nickname is. Is there a what's his nickname?
I think just Sizz. Yeah,
okay, there you
Sizz,
go.
Yeah.
That was my guess.
Yeah. Usually it's not too complicated.
No.
but
can't be Coley because of Coley.
Yeah.
So.
But also in our locker room, you never know what kind of nickname you could have a new one every day.
Brett has a lot of nicknames.
So
should we run through the list? We've got Bretsky, we've got Howie. It was Howdy at one point, wasn't it?
Well, I was always Howdy, and then I came here and it turned to Howie. I don't know how that happened. So that was new for me too. And then there's
Where did Bretsky come from? Was that Colasar that gave you that?
Yeah, I think so. I think
it fit.
Yeah, he's got a few, and then I think Marchie had a few that kind of stuck around, and it's day-to-day basis, whatever name they want to call me. So
there's some real admiration for you from around the room. Like
there has been.
William Karlsson has been talking you up all camp from media day through camp.
Wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
He told us that we're asking about if you had to headline a strip or show on the Strip, what would your act be? And he said he would have a boy band, like the Backstreet Boys at the Sphere. We asked who would be in it. The first answer was Brett Howden. I think he called you pretty.
Oh, jeez.
And then I asked who had the most underrated sense of humor. He said Brett Howden.
Wow.
And then you had the inspiration for his new haircut, apparently.
Yeah,
You were the inspiration, even though your hair is not the same
nowhere
texture.
Nowhere the same. His is very straight. I feel like you can't beat his hair. That's pretty hard to beat.
It's
that.
solid, but yours is good. I've expressed that as well. If I could trade anybody's bucket, I would take yours. But to Carly was talking about just slicking it back. It's like that's solid.
Yeah, he's got a nice set of hair on him. He short, long, whatever he does with it. Looks good. I'll hype him up all day long. Yeah.
Wanted to ask you about a big outing that we were told happened recently between Brett Howden, 2.5-year-old Charlie Howden. Is he about 2.5 years old? And then Braden McNabb and 2.5-year-old Lakin
Lakin.
McNabb hit the links.
Yeah.
Tell us about that experience.
Yeah, that was awesome. It was hilarious. It was so funny. We got to the first tee, and they both have their little club, and they're walking up to the tee box together, and they're standing for a picture. It was just hilarious. They're a week apart in age, so they're at the same stage of everything. You know, the way they're talking to each other, it was just comical. But they did great. They lasted all 9 holes. We played 9 holes with them. And I think the most exciting part was probably for them to get in the cart, drive the cart a little bit, and then their snacks. They had snacks, but it was hilarious. We both said we got to keep doing that more because it was so funny just to watch them.
Was that the first time you had gotten Charlie out on a course, or did you do that over the summer back home?
I did that once this summer. I took him out for a couple holes, a couple times, just 2 or 3 holes just to get on the golf cart. But I did 9 holes with him once this summer with my dad, and that was the first time he went out for 9 holes, and that was also hilarious. It's just so funny. They're in their own little world. But yeah, it's been a blast watching him kind of come into his own little person, and his personality is coming out a lot more. And yeah, he's my little buddy. Yeah.
Another stage in the dad process, right?
Yeah.
Where you're just sitting there going, "Is this really me going through this?"
Yeah,
right
I know. I mean, it happens from time to time where I kind of sit there. I'm like, I just can't believe it. You know, he's this little guy. He's talking to me. He's, you know, can put sentences together now, and yeah, it's just it's pretty wild to think that he's 2.5 now. It's crazy. I mean, all the older guys always tell you, like Petro always tell me, goes by quick. Everybody always tells you that, and then, you know, you're in it, and then I look back at it now. I'm like, oh wow, he's 2.5. He's not a little baby anymore in my hands. So. But yeah, it's really special. It's been incredible.
Did they go in the bunkers at all? Did they end up?
Oh yeah, they tried to. Well, I was in the bunkers all day that day, so Charlie was just following me around. He was having a blast.
Building sandcastles in there.
Yeah. So
awesome stuff. Has it changed you as a hockey player, being a dad?
Being a dad, yeah, I think it's changed me as a person. I think hockey player. I don't know. I think. It's been great for me to come home and just kind of leave the game at the rink. You know, some days are harder than others during the season. That happens, but usually when I walk through that door and you hear Daddy and he comes running to you, it's everything's gone. So it's been unbelievable. But yeah, as a person, it's you see things a lot differently. You know, I've grown up a lot, I feel like, and you see what your priorities are, and it changes your perspective on things. So I feel like it's just been an incredible journey so far.
How's the jump been from a father of 1 to a father of 2? And we also can't leave Lenny out of the conversation. Yeah. Lenny is your dog, right? Okay, we can't leave Lenny out as well, because he's just as important.
Yeah, it's. I feel like we're more in a rhythm now. I feel like at the start it was. There's a lot going on for sure. We had lots of help from our family and stuff, and then it was nice to be home this summer and be close to both of our families. But it's we feel like we're more kind of, you know, like I said, in a rhythm. But could be today, and then tomorrow something something changes. But we're really enjoying it. It's pretty cool to see Charlie as an older brother. Him. Playing with her a little bit, and she's starting to get a little bit more, smiles and things like that. Starting to look around a lot more. So she's growing up too. It's been incredible. Just really fun to watch both of them.
Charlie, a right-handed player or left-handed golfer?
I tried making him right. I'm a lefty. Tried making him right. He's a lefty too. I tried making him righty, but I'm pretty sure he's a lefty. So
and. Ashley is about to go down this path of parenthood. And any advice? Because she's got Moxie at home too, like Lenny is going to have to work his way or her way through. So, any advice?
Oh boy,
parent to parent?
Oh, I don't know if maybe ask my wife. But
Micah's a saint. I know she'll have plenty.
Yeah, Ashley's she's gonna be great. She's gonna be a great mother. she's always so kind to everyone. She's going to be just fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully she can loosen up a little bit. She's really intense.
A little uptight,
Thanks for doing this. Really appreciate it,
of
buddy.
course, of course.
Nice seeing you again.
Yeah, great seeing you guys. Thank you.
There's Brett Howden on the training camp stream presented by Core Hydration. He's done his first 3 days. The first group, that's a good advantage of the
ended
being
with
the
a
third
bang,
day.
talking to Darren Millard.
And Ashley Weiss. So that's cool. A lot of life lessons that, we discuss forecheck and finishing and following up a 23-goal season and all that. And what's the coolest thing? Taking your 2.5-year-old golfing.
Yeah.
Like that's
what it's all about.
That's the best part. Ashley, this has been fun. Love hanging out with you. Enjoy. If you want to come by the rink, 2 more sessions here at City National Arena. The first preseason game is tomorrow afternoon, 5 o'clock from San Jose. That is on Nighttime Plus only. And then we are back on Script Sports on Tuesday.
Can't wait.
Can't wait. And then you and I will be together later on the week. More updates on that as we continue on. From Studio 31, hope you enjoyed it. We'll talk to you again on the VGK social media channels.